You walk through the same bank door twice in one lifetime. The first time they watch you like a risk. The second time they stand up when you enter. Same person, only the number changed. Here's the quiet truth no one at the bank will say out loud. They are not looking at you. They are reading a number attached to your name, and that number decides how human they let you be. At 0 or below it, the bank treats you like a problem to be managed. The warm voice thins out. Fees stack on fees. You become a risk score sitting in a chair, and the whole building can feel it. At the bottom, they make their money on your mistakes. A few dollars here, an overdraft there. It is quiet, automatic, and designed. The less you have, the more each small slip is allowed to cost you. Notice who the system charges the most, not the careless rich. The tired, the stretched, the ones already counting coins. Being broke is expensive in a way that no one at the top ever has to think about. With a few $1,000s, you are not hated. You are invisible. You are a maintenance fee and a name on a marketing list. They will upsell you a card and forget your face before you reach the door. At this level, every friendly offer is a product. The card with the fee, the account with the catch, they are not helping you grow. They are quietly renting you the feeling that you are finally being taken seriously. Somewhere around 50,000, the tone shifts. Someone learns your name. A relationship manager appears with a warm, practiced smile. It is the first time the bank pretends to like you, and it is exactly that, a pretend. The smile is not free. It usually arrives attached to something, a managed account, a product with a quiet fee. The warmth is real in the moment and gone by the quarter because it was never about you at all. Cross $250,000 and a quieter room opens up. Fewer lines, a softer chair, a cup of coffee you did not ask for. The bank starts spending a little comfort on you because now you are worth the effort. This is where the velvet rope appears. You skip a line you used to stand in. And the rope is the whole point. Its job is to make you feel chosen, so you never think of moving your money anywhere else. At $1 million, you become priority. A direct line. Fees waived like small favors. The same institution that once counted your overdrafts now competes for the honor of holding what you already built on your own. Notice the reversal. At the bottom, you chase them for a yes. Now they call you. They remember your birthday. They ask about your family. The need is quietly flipped, and both of you know exactly why. At $5 million, the invitations begin. Dinners, events. A wealth advisor who speaks in a lower, softer voice. You are no longer a client to be sold. You are an account they are quietly afraid to lose. Up here, everyone lowers their voice. Privacy becomes a service they sell back to you. Discretion, they call it. What it really means is that your number is now large enough to be worth hiding even from the room. At $25 million, they stop selling you products and start building them around you. A team, a structure, a quiet competition between institutions for your name. The whole building learns to arrange itself around your comfort. Suddenly, there are people whose entire job is you, your accounts, your access, your ease. It feels like care, and some of it is. But underneath it is the same machine simply pointed the other way for once. Here's what unsettles people who make it. You did not get smarter on the way up. You did not get kinder. You became profitable. And to the bank, profitable and human have always been two very different things. Even at the top, you are still a number. They simply like this number now. The risk score never stops running in the background. It only changed its mind about you the moment you stopped needing it to. Trace the fear through every level, and it never actually leaves. At the bottom, they fear your risk. They fear you will cost them a small loss they never agreed to carry. So they charge you first just in case. At the top, they fear something else entirely. They fear your exit. They fear the quiet morning you move your money and take the revenue line with you. So they smile wider, and the smile has a nervous edge. Once one banker told you the truth, off the record near the end of a long day. He said the whole business runs on one quiet rule: treat the number, not the man. He looked almost sorry to say it. He said the poor get honesty because there's nothing to sell them. The rich get theater because there's everything. And the ones in the middle get sold the hardest because they still believe the smile is real. So the money did not buy you respect. It bought a better mask laid over the exact same face. The people bowing now would have looked straight through you a decade ago. Nothing about you earned the bow but the balance. You sit in the marble lounge they built for people like your number. good coffee, soft light, total quiet. And you remember very clearly the cold plastic chair where the same institution once made you wait an hour. You never forget that chair. 22 overdrawn waiting to explain yourself to someone who had already decided. That chair taught you more about money than any account ever did. It taught you what the number really controls. Run it back through every level and one thing stays true. At 0 and at 25 million, the bank never once saw you. It saw a revenue line, a risk, an opportunity. Never the person sitting in the chair. So be honest about what the climb actually bought. Not their love, not their respect, just better treatment from a machine that never cared either way. The comfort is real. The care was always a service with a price. There's a quiet anger that comes with understanding this. Anger for the tired version of you they charge the most. Anger for everyone still standing in the line, believing the next tier will finally make them worth seeing. Then the anger settles into something more useful, calm. Because once you see the machine clearly, it loses its power to flatter you. You stop chasing the smile, you start simply using the tool for exactly what it is. So stop trying to be seen by the bank. It was never built to see you. Instead, learn to see it. A tool. A vault with a smile. Useful when you understand it, dangerous when you start to believe it. Use the direct line. Take the waived fee. Accept the quiet room. But never confuse a service for a friendship. The moment your number drops, the warmth drops with it exactly on schedule without a trace of guilt. The real freedom is not the priority line. It is the calm no. The offer you decline, the advisor you can outwait. When you no longer need their approval, their whole theater quietly loses its grip on you. You still walk into the bank. You are still polite. But something is different now. You no longer need a single person in that building to respect you, and that is the one thing the number could never actually buy. So you walk out the same door you once walked in afraid, same steady stride, same quiet face. The building treats you like royalty now, and you treat it like what it always was. A tool you finally understand. Lay 2 bank statements side by side, 10 years apart. Same handwriting, same signature, 2 completely different tones from the same institution. One quietly scolds you, one quietly flatters you. The only thing that changed is the number at the bottom. At 10 million, the bank stops treating you like a customer and starts treating you like an asset to keep. Products get invented for you. Rules quietly bend. The word no slowly disappears from their vocabulary whenever you are in the room. 1 year a card arrives. Happy birthday from your private banker signed by hand. You know a junior wrote it. You know it is a retention tactic. And still a quiet part of you notices the bottom of your life never sent one. Test it sometime. Let the balance dip. Watch how fast the waived fee finds its way home. The warmth was always conditional. It was price tiered and set quietly to expire the very moment you stop being worth it. Listen to how the language shifts with the number. At the bottom, unfortunately. In the middle, let me see what I can do. At the top, whatever you need. Same institution. 3 different dialects of the very same math. You think about the friend still standing in the public line. Same intelligence, same effort, a different number. He gets the scolding tone you outgrew, and he believes exactly as you once did that the next raise will finally fix it. Nobody teaches you the rules of this game early. You learn them by being on the wrong side of them first. By the time you understand the machine, you have already paid its tuition in fees and small quiet humiliations. Even now, keep 1 foot in the cold memory. Remember the plastic chair. It stops you from mistaking service for love, and it stops you from becoming the kind of person who forgets exactly what the line feels like. The real wealth is not the vanished no. It is your own, the offer you decline without a flicker, the upsell you let pass. You learn to say the word the bank forgot and to mean it quietly every single time. Slowly you stop performing wealth for anyone the bank included. No flex, no display, no need to be greeted by name at the counter. The number is a tool in your pocket, never a mirror you check to find your own worth. The one thing the machine can never copy is quiet generosity with no number attached. A bill covered before anyone notices, help sent with no name. The bank rewards a balance. Life rewards the things a balance was never able to measure. Here's what your number will never buy at any tier, to be truly seen by a system built to price you. So stop asking it to. Be seen by the few who knew you at 0 and keep the rest as tools. So before you spend a decade climbing for their smile, sit with one honest question. What would change if you stopped trying to be seen by the bank and quietly became someone who never needed to be? The number does not just sit in a bank screen. It follows you into the apartment you want, the car you need, and the day a small emergency asks for room. A thin file can make ordinary life more expensive before you have even made a mistake. That is why the bottom feels so steep. You are not only paying for what you buy, you are paying for the system's suspicion of what might happen next. The first escape is not impressing the bank. It is making your life harder to price. Then the car needs a repair, or a child gets sick, or work goes quiet for 1 month. At the bottom, a surprise is never only a surprise. It becomes a chain of calls, late fees, borrowed favors, and shame you carry alone. The bank calls this risk. You call it Tuesday. A small cash buffer does not make you important to them. It makes you less available for punishment. That is the quiet power of the first few months you can cover yourself. At higher balances, the language changes from warning to opportunity. They stop telling you what you cannot do and begin asking what you want next. A relationship manager learns your preferences. A room appears behind a door that used to stay closed. None of this is kindness arriving late. It is service attached to profitable assets. Seeing that clearly keeps the room from owning you. Take the useful service if it helps. Never confuse a softer chair with belonging. The final level is not having strangers stand when you enter. It is knowing you can leave when the terms feel wrong. You can ask for clarity, compare options, wait a day, or say no without your stomach dropping. That freedom grows from margin, not from applause. The real win is that a bank's tone no longer tells you what you are worth. You use the institution as a tool, keep your life simple enough to walk away, and let the number serve your peace instead of renting your identity. There's a practical side to this that matters more than the theater. Keep enough cash that one bad week does not become a negotiation. Read fees before they become emergencies. Compare an offer before signing because the first warm voice is still selling something. Protect your credit slowly, not for status, but because cheaper access gives you more room to recover. Ask questions when a charge looks strange. Let time do the work that panic usually interrupts. None of these habits make a banker impressed. That is not their job. They make you harder to corner. And when you are harder to corner, the tone at the counter becomes less important. You do not need a velvet rope to feel secure. You need choices, a buffer, and the patience to use the system without asking it to tell you who you are. The people at the top are not always wiser. They simply have more room to wait. Build your own room in small pieces, and one day the same door will feel smaller than the freedom you carry through it.